All right, Devin Haney has been stripped of his WBC belt. He's been moved to champion in recess, and that is some hogwash. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also I want to say a special thank you to everybody that has recently joined the channel as a member. Thanks, shout out to the LDBC and everybody that is supporting. Thank you so much to the Patreon community that has been there every month. We have a really good video that we just put up, so check that out. Also, thank you to the live stream community for your support in the super chat and the Cash App. Also, make sure you come on Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time for OG Boxing Talk, which is myself, Blood Boxing, KQKC Boxing, Trap House, and my man Curtis Anderson, the boxing historian. You will have a great time in that live stream. Now, let's get into this. Devin Haney has essentially been stripped of his belt because he hurt his shoulder and he had to have surgery. And there's something called a champion in recess, and I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm sure that means he can come back and challenge for the belt. However, he is no longer the champion, just like Vasily Lomachenko is no longer the champion. And now the WBC is mandated a fight take place between Javier Fortuna and Luke Campbell for the vacant WBC belt. Now, this is my issue with this particular decision. On this channel for a year and a half, I was continually making videos about Mikey Garcia and the fact that Mikey Garcia had not defended his WBC lightweight title. When he won that belt against Zadok Clannon, when he first came out of his layoff, once he got over his problems that he had with Top Rank, he won the WBC lightweight title against a guy named Dejan Zadok Clannon. I know I'm killing his name, but you know, that's who he did it against. Then after that, he fought a bunch of fights that weren't in the 135-pound weight division, and he maintained that belt. As far as I know, Mikey Garcia never defended the WBC belt in 18 months, and then he only defended it one time, and then he dropped it, and then went to fight Errol Spence Jr. up at 147 pounds. The other fights that he had during that time were against Adrian Bronner at a catch weight of like 142 pounds. Then he fought Sergey Lipinets, who's currently at 147. He fought Sergey Lipinets for the IBF. I believe that was the IBF 140-pound title. And then he moved back down and fought Robert Easter Jr. During that whole period of time, which I do believe was somewhere around 16, 18 months, he never defended that WBC belt. The WBC didn't insist that he defend that belt. They just let him fight and bounce around different weight classes, and everything was good. Why wouldn't you give Devin Haney enough time, postpone that mandatory? You got 15, 20 other belts that you can have Javier Fortuna fight Luke Campbell for. What's the big rush to strip Devin Haney because he had a shoulder injury? It just seems to me that they're a little bit selective in how they enforce their rules. You also have something I find interesting is Luke Campbell. Why Luke Campbell? Luke Campbell just lost to Vasily Lomachenko for the vacant title. He had a shot at the WBC belt and he lost against Lomachenko. Why is Luke Campbell now the mandatory? Of all the fighters that can be ranked in the WBC at lightweight, why would you choose to make the mandatory Luke Campbell? That seems like Luke Campbell is getting a whole lot of shots at championship belts. Luke Campbell lost for the WBA. He fought for the WBA championship against Jorge Linares and lost. He fought against he fought against Vasily Lomachenko for the vacant WBC belt and lost. Now he's going to fight Javier Fortuna for a vacant WBC belt again? Why? Why is Luke Campbell getting shot after shot after shot at championship belts? He keeps losing. This is like the Ray Beltran story all over again. Ray Beltran fights for the he fights for the, man, I mean, what does he have, like 4 different championship shots? I know Ray Beltran at a point had fought Terrence Crawford. He fights and he loses against, God dog, man, I can't remember all the people that Ray Beltran lost championship shots at, just to win it and then immediately lose it again to Richard Comey. You can't tell me that these guys can't find somebody other than Luke Campbell to fight Javier Fortuna for that belt. It just seems like there's just, some funny business going on, man. And there's been funny business going on with these belts with the WBC all year. This isn't quite as bad as this franchise champion, right? Where you have Vasily Lomachenko, who was the WBC champion, who decided he didn't want to fight as mandatory. So they elevate him to the franchise championship. Devin Haney gets given the title. He then he wins a fight, defends his belt, and as soon as he has an injury, you're going to strip him of it and put the guy back in there who lost to Lomachenko in the first place. Into the fight. It's and mandate that he fights the voluntary. By the way, the mandatory for Devin Haney was Javier Fortuna. So Javier Fortuna now has to fight a guy. They install another mandatory. I mean, because that's what you're doing practically when you have a vacant belt. Oh, Devin, hey, we're gonna give another shot to Luke Campbell. Why? Why does Luke Campbell deserve that shot? Again, he has lost multiple times. There are other guys ranked in the WBC that haven't fought for a title, that are winning, that hasn't lost. They didn't just come off of a loss for that belt. It's ridiculous. That's like the WBO did with Vasily Lomachenko. When Vasily Lomachenko lost the WBO 126-pound title to Orlando Salido. Orlando Salido he lost the weight on the belt on the scale. The very next fight, boom, there Vasily Lomachenko is again fighting for the belt. Dude, if you lost, why can't somebody else step up and get a chance? You're just going to continue to recycle the same guy fighting for the belt over and over and over again? So on this, to me, on 2 different angles, looks like some disparate treatment. On one hand, you have Devin Haney being removed from the championship because he had a shoulder injury and moved into champion in recess. But yet you have a guy, just the champion before, the 2 champions. You have one champion, Lomachenko, that wouldn't fight as mandatory, so you just elevate him to champion forever. And the guy before that, the guy who was champion before that, Mikey Garcia, literally only defended the belt one time, and it took him 16, 18 months to do it. Maybe a little less. I think it might have been January to June, January of 2017 to June of 2018, something like that. Somebody, you guys can box correct the specific numbers, but I know because I did the videos that it was a good amount of time. So you have different types of treatment. You have that treatment on Devin Haney, but then you have the fact of the guy that they actually picked to be the mandatory, to fight for the vacant belt, Luke Campbell. These promoters angle their guys into shots that it doesn't seem like they earned. I can't imagine that, if you're playing basketball in a park and you lose, and you sit out. And then you go to the back of the line. You lost. Go to the back of the line. You're not playing 5-on-5. You lose to the team. You got 5 other guys. You got 5 other teams waiting. And then you just immediately go back to number 3 in line. And you do that multiple times. I mean, it's just as ridiculous. How many championship shots? It's like they are just determined to get Luke Campbell a championship belt. with as many shots as this guy is getting to do it. Then, oh man, we got another superstar on our hands. It's the great Luke Campbell. Man, I ain't buying that, man. That's garbage. Anyway, they should have given. Look, I don't know what the prognosis is on for the recovery time for Devin Haney, but I have to believe it's less than 16 months. I have to believe it's less than 16 months. I don't believe that he's going to be out 2 years. The chance it's not a big chance that he's going to be out longer, out of that longer than Mikey Garcia went defending his WBC belt. But anyway, you let me know what you think in the comment section. It is what it is, and with that, I'm out. Peace.